Gentle movement restores joint lubrication and cartilage nourishment in ways that are subtle, powerful, and deeply biological, unfolding beneath our awareness with every slow and mindful motion. Inside the hip and knee joints exists a delicate environment where cartilage, bone, ligaments, and fluid interact constantly to maintain smooth movement and structural integrity. Cartilage itself has no direct blood supply, which means it depends almost entirely on movement to receive nutrients and oxygen. Each time a joint bends, straightens, or rotates gently, synovial fluid is drawn into the cartilage like water into a sponge, carrying nourishment that sustains cellular life. When the joint becomes still for long periods, this vital exchange weakens, leaving cartilage dry, brittle, and vulnerable to breakdown. Slow and controlled motion encourages the production and circulation of synovial fluid, which acts as both lubricant and shock absorber. This fluid coats joint surfaces, reducing friction and protecting cartilage from excessive wear. The quality of this lubrication depends not on force, but on frequency and consistency. Gentle exercises performed daily create rhythmic waves of pressure and release within the joint, stimulating fluid movement and cellular signaling that promotes tissue maintenance. Over time, this process enhances joint resilience, allowing movement to become smoother and less painful, even in joints affected by osteoarthritis. At a microscopic level, cartilage cells respond directly to mechanical stimulation. When subjected to gentle compression and decompression, these cells activate metabolic pathways that increase the production of collagen and proteoglycans, the molecules responsible for cartilage strength and elasticity. Without this stimulation, cartilage metabolism slows, weakening its structure and reducing its capacity to withstand load. This means that appropriate movement does not merely preserve existing cartilage but actively encourages its renewal, slowing degenerative changes that were once considered inevitable. Gentle movement also improves circulation to surrounding tissues, including muscles, tendons, and ligaments, which play essential roles in joint stability. Enhanced blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients necessary for cellular repair while removing metabolic waste that contributes to inflammation and stiffness. As these supporting tissues become healthier, they share the mechanical load more evenly with the joint, reducing stress on cartilage surfaces. This balanced distribution of force creates an environment in which healing and preservation become possible. The nervous system participates intimately in this process. When joints move gently and without pain, sensory receptors send reassuring signals to the brain, reinforcing patterns of safety and ease. These signals influence muscle tone, posture, and coordination, helping the body move more efficiently and with less protective tension. Over time, this recalibration reduces unnecessary muscular guarding, which often restricts joint motion and exacerbates stiffness. As fear-based movement patterns dissolve, joints experience greater freedom, allowing lubrication and nourishment processes to function more effectively. Temperature changes within the joint also play a role. Gentle activity increases local warmth, improving the viscosity of synovial fluid and enhancing its ability to flow smoothly across joint surfaces. Warmer tissues exhibit greater elasticity, reducing resistance during motion and minimizing microtrauma. This creates a feedback loop in which comfortable movement encourages further movement, gradually restoring natural range and fluidity. Consistency is the key that unlocks these biological benefits. Sporadic exercise produces limited results, while daily gentle motion sustains the internal environment necessary for joint health. Short, frequent sessions of low-impact movement maintain fluid circulation, cellular metabolism, and neuromuscular coordination. Over weeks and months, these small investments accumulate, leading to meaningful improvements in comfort, mobility, and stability. This steady rhythm respects the body's adaptive pace, allowing tissues to remodel without provoking inflammation or injury. Equally important is the quality of attention brought to movement. Mindful exercises performed with slow awareness deepen sensory feedback and enhance neuromuscular integration. When individuals move attentively, they sense subtle changes in tension, alignment, and balance, allowing immediate adjustments that protect joint integrity. This awareness fosters a collaborative relationship with the body, transforming exercise from a mechanical task into a dialogue of care and responsiveness. Gentle movement also influences biochemical signaling within joint tissues. Mechanical stimulation triggers the release of anti-inflammatory mediators that counteract degenerative processes. These signals modulate immune activity, reduce oxidative stress, and promote tissue regeneration. In this way, movement becomes a form of internal medicine, shaping cellular environments toward healing rather than decay. Over time, individuals often notice secondary benefits beyond joint comfort. Improved mobility encourages greater overall activity, enhancing cardiovascular health, metabolic balance, and emotional well-being. As movement becomes less painful, confidence grows, leading to increased independence and engagement in daily life. This psychological uplift further supports physiological healing, illustrating the inseparable connection between mind and body. In aging joints, the restoration of lubrication and nourishment through gentle movement represents a return to biological harmony. Rather than resisting the natural changes of time, this approach works with the body's intrinsic capacities, honoring its wisdom and resilience. Each mindful step, stretch, and rotation becomes an act of renewal, reinforcing the principle that health is sustained not through force, but through patience, consistency, and compassionate attention to the living systems within. Mindful exercises retrain the nervous system and reduce pain perception by reshaping the way the brain interprets movement, sensation, and safety, slowly transforming fear into confidence and tension into ease. Pain is not simply a message from damaged tissue, it is an experience created by the nervous system, shaped by memory, expectation, and emotional context. In osteoarthritis of the hips and knees, long periods of discomfort teach the brain to associate certain movements with danger. Over time, this protective signaling can become exaggerated, producing pain even when tissues are not under harmful stress. Mindful movement gently interrupts this cycle, offering the nervous system new information that challenges old assumptions. When slow, controlled exercises are performed with attention and calm breathing, sensory receptors in the joints, muscles, and skin transmit detailed feedback to the brain. These signals help refine body awareness, allowing the nervous system to update its internal maps of position and motion. As clarity improves, the brain becomes less reliant on protective overreaction. Movement begins to feel safer, and pain intensity gradually decreases. This process does not rely on force or endurance, but on precision, awareness, and consistency. Fear often amplifies pain. After repeated episodes of discomfort, individuals unconsciously restrict motion, brace muscles, and anticipate injury. This guarding increases joint compression, reduces circulation, and limits synovial fluid flow, creating the very stiffness and pain they hope to avoid. Mindful exercise softens these patterns. Slow movements combined with relaxed breathing activate the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering stress hormones and calming neural circuits associated with threat. As the body relaxes, muscle tone normalizes, allowing joints to move freely and without excessive pressure. Breathing plays a central role in this recalibration. Deep, steady breathing stimulates the vagus nerve, which regulates inflammation, heart rate, and emotional balance. Each calm breath signals safety, allowing the nervous system to release defensive tension. This internal shift creates an environment in which healing can unfold. As breath and movement synchronize, the body enters a state of coherence, where physical and emotional rhythms align. In this state, pain sensitivity often diminishes, and movement becomes smoother and more natural. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself, underlies these changes. Repeated mindful movement creates new neural pathways that associate motion with comfort rather than discomfort. Each positive experience reinforces these connections, gradually overriding older pain-based patterns. Over time, the nervous system learns that movement is not a threat but a source of nourishment and vitality. This learning reshapes perception, allowing individuals to move with greater confidence and less fear. Attention itself becomes therapeutic. When movement is approached with curiosity instead of judgment, individuals notice subtle improvements in flexibility, strength, and balance. These small successes build trust in the body, shifting focus away from limitation toward possibility. The mind becomes an ally in healing rather than a source of anxiety. This gentle reorientation has profound effects on pain perception, as expectation strongly influences sensory experience. Mindful exercise also enhances proprioception, the sense of body position and movement. Improved proprioceptive feedback allows for finer motor control, reducing unnecessary strain on joints. When muscles coordinate efficiently, load is distributed evenly across joint surfaces, minimizing localized stress and irritation. This mechanical harmony further reduces pain signals, reinforcing the nervous system's perception of safety. Emotional well-being is inseparable from physical comfort. Chronic pain often carries emotional weight, including frustration, fear, and resignation. Mindful movement practices cultivate patience and self-compassion, offering moments of peace within the healing journey. These emotional shifts influence pain processing centers in the brain, lowering overall sensitivity. As emotional resilience grows, individuals become better equipped to navigate discomfort without distress, further diminishing pain's impact on daily life. The rhythmic nature of mindful exercises establishes a meditative flow that quiets mental chatter and enhances present moment awareness. In this state, attention rests on sensation rather than anticipation. Without constant projection into future discomfort, the nervous system relaxes, allowing pain thresholds to rise. This experiential shift demonstrates that perception is fluid, shaped by attention, belief, and emotional state. Consistency transforms these subtle effects into lasting change. Daily mindful movement reinforces neural pathways associated with safety, gradually restoring trust in the body's capacity to move without harm. Over weeks and months, pain becomes less dominant, mobility improves, and confidence returns. This steady transformation reflects the remarkable adaptability of the nervous system, which remains capable of learning and renewal throughout life. Through mindful exercise, movement becomes a dialogue between body and brain, each informing and supporting the other. In this dialogue, pain loses its authority, replaced by awareness, control, and gentle resilience. The nervous system, once trapped in cycles of fear and defense, rediscovers its natural capacity for balance and calm, opening the path toward comfort, freedom, and renewed connection with the living intelligence of the body. Strengthening stabilizing muscles protects aging hips and knees by rebuilding the body's natural support system, allowing joints to function with balance, efficiency, and resilience rather than strain and vulnerability. The hip and knee joints are designed to work in partnership with surrounding muscles, tendons, and ligaments, forming a dynamic structure that adapts continuously to movement and load. Over time, however, inactivity, pain avoidance, and aging gradually weaken these stabilizing muscles, shifting excessive stress onto joint surfaces. This imbalance accelerates wear, increases inflammation, and heightens discomfort. Restoring muscular strength reestablishes harmony within this system, allowing joints to move smoothly while bearing less direct load. The muscles surrounding the hips and knees act as shock absorbers and alignment guides. When strong and responsive, they control the direction and timing of movement, preventing sudden jolts or uneven pressure. The quadriceps and hamstrings regulate knee bending and straightening, while the gluteal muscles and deep hip stabilizers govern pelvic alignment and leg positioning. When these muscles lose strength or coordination, even simple actions such as standing, walking, or climbing stairs can generate abnormal forces across joint surfaces. Strength training restores these protective mechanisms, redistributing stress through muscular tissue rather than cartilage and bone. At the cellular level, strengthening exercises stimulate metabolic activity within muscle fibers, enhancing their ability to generate force and sustain endurance. Increased muscle mass improves glucose utilization, circulation, and oxygen delivery, supporting overall tissue health. These changes indirectly benefit joints by optimizing the metabolic environment in which they function. Better circulation ensures that inflammatory byproducts are removed efficiently, while nutrients necessary for tissue maintenance reach joint structures more readily. Neuromuscular coordination also improves through strengthening. As muscles become stronger, their ability to respond quickly to balance challenges and unexpected movements increases. This responsiveness reduces the risk of sudden joint overload during daily activities. Small corrections in posture and alignment occur automatically, protecting joints from harmful angles and abrupt stresses. Over time, these subtle adjustments preserve cartilage integrity and reduce cumulative wear. Joint stability relies heavily on muscular support. Ligaments and joint capsules provide passive restraint, but muscles offer dynamic control. When stabilizing muscles weaken, ligaments endure excessive strain, leading to laxity and compromised joint mechanics. Strength training restores active control, allowing muscles to absorb force and guide movement patterns. This dynamic stability fosters confidence in motion, encouraging more natural and fluid activity that further enhances joint lubrication and nourishment. Strengthening also addresses asymmetries that often develop with aging. Years of favoring one side, compensating for pain, or maintaining habitual postures create imbalances that distort joint alignment. Targeted exercises help correct these disparities, restoring symmetrical load distribution across joint surfaces. Balanced strength reduces localized pressure points, minimizing irritation and inflammation. As alignment improves, movement efficiency increases, reducing energy expenditure and fatigue. Psychologically, regaining strength instills a sense of empowerment. Individuals who rebuild muscular capacity often report renewed confidence in their ability to move, stand, and navigate their environment safely. This confidence encourages greater activity, which in turn sustains muscular and joint health. The cycle of avoidance and deconditioning gives way to one of engagement and restoration, highlighting the interconnectedness of physical capacity and emotional resilience. Strength training also influences bone density, particularly around the hip and knee joints. Mechanical loading stimulates osteoblast activity, promoting bone remodeling and maintaining structural integrity. Stronger bones provide a stable foundation for joint surfaces, reducing micro-instability and susceptibility to injury. This synergy between muscle and bone health underscores the holistic benefits of targeted strengthening. Inflammatory processes common in osteoarthritis respond favorably to regular moderate resistance exercise. Muscular contractions release anti-inflammatory cytokines that counteract chronic low-grade inflammation. This biochemical shift alleviates joint swelling, reduces pain sensitivity, and enhances mobility. The body's internal environment becomes more conducive to healing, supporting long-term joint preservation. Importantly, strengthening exercises for aging joints emphasize control, precision, and gradual progression rather than maximal effort. Slow, deliberate movements allow muscles to engage fully without imposing excessive strain. This approach respects the body's adaptive capacity, fostering sustainable improvement without provoking setbacks. Over time, even modest increases in strength translate into meaningful functional gains, improving gait, posture, and balance. As muscles regain their stabilizing role, joints experience less friction, compression, and torsion. Walking becomes smoother, rising from a chair becomes easier, and daily tasks demand less effort. These changes accumulate, enhancing quality of life and reducing dependence on external supports. The body rediscovers its inherent capacity for efficient movement, guided by muscular intelligence refined through consistent practice. Through strengthening stabilizing muscles, the aging body learns to move with renewed grace and assurance. This restoration is not about reversing time, but about honoring the body's evolving needs and responding with thoughtful care. Each contraction becomes a message of support to the joints, each repetition a commitment to resilience, shaping a future in which movement remains a source of freedom rather than limitation. Breath and controlled motion regulate inflammation and healing signals by guiding the body into a state of internal coherence, where biological systems communicate with clarity and balance rather than confusion and strain. Every breath we take influences heart rhythm, blood pressure, hormonal release, and immune activity, shaping the internal environment in which healing either flourishes or falters. When breath becomes slow and intentional, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, shifting the body away from stress-driven survival responses and toward restoration. This shift reduces the release of inflammatory mediators while enhancing cellular repair mechanisms, creating conditions favorable for joint recovery. Controlled movement synchronized with steady breathing amplifies these effects. As muscles contract and release in a rhythmic pattern, circulation improves, delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues while removing metabolic waste. This dynamic exchange supports the immune system's regulatory function, preventing excessive inflammatory responses that contribute to joint pain and degeneration. In osteoarthritis, chronic low-grade inflammation often persists, gradually eroding cartilage and sensitizing nerves. Breath-guided movement interrupts this cycle, offering repeated signals of safety and balance that recalibrate immune activity. The vagus nerve plays a central role in this process. Extending from the brainstem through the heart, lungs, and digestive tract, it serves as a primary conduit between conscious intention and unconscious physiological regulation. Slow exhalation stimulates vagal tone, enhancing its ability to dampen inflammatory cascades and modulate pain perception. Each extended breath becomes a gentle command to the body, instructing it to soften, to restore, and to repair. Over time, Consistent activation of this pathway strengthens the body's capacity for self-regulation, reducing baseline inflammation and improving resilience. Controlled motion further refines neural signaling. When movements are slow and deliberate, sensory feedback becomes more precise, allowing the brain to interpret mechanical information accurately. This clarity prevents exaggerated protective responses that can lead to unnecessary muscle tension and joint compression. As movement efficiency improves, tissues experience less microtrauma, reducing the inflammatory burden placed upon them. This gentle cycle of feedback and adaptation gradually reshapes movement patterns toward harmony and ease. Hormonal regulation also responds to breath-centered movement. Stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, while essential for acute challenges, become harmful when chronically elevated. Persistent stress signaling intensifies inflammation, impairs tissue repair, and heightens pain sensitivity. Calm breathing lowers these hormones, restoring hormonal balance and supporting anabolic processes that rebuild connective tissue and muscle. This biochemical shift encourages healing at the cellular level, enhancing the body's capacity to regenerate and maintain joint integrity. Blood chemistry reflects these changes. Improved oxygenation through deep breathing enhances mitochondrial efficiency, optimizing cellular energy production. With greater energy availability, cells can perform repair functions more effectively, synthesizing proteins and structural components essential for tissue maintenance. This metabolic support is particularly valuable in aging tissues, where regenerative capacity naturally declines. Breath-guided movement provides a non-invasive means of stimulating these restorative processes. Psychological calm contributes significantly to these physiological benefits. Emotional stress amplifies pain perception and inflammatory signaling, creating a feedback loop that entrenches discomfort. Mindful breathing and controlled motion cultivate mental stillness, reducing anxiety and fostering emotional balance. This calm state influences brain regions involved in pain processing, diminishing hypersensitivity and promoting a more measured interpretation of sensory input. As emotional equilibrium returns, the body responds with reduced inflammation and improved healing capacity. Consistency deepens these effects. Daily practice reinforces neural pathways associated with relaxation and restoration, gradually lowering baseline stress levels. Over time, the body begins to default toward calm regulation rather than reactive tension. This foundational shift transforms the internal environment, allowing healing signals to dominate over degenerative ones. In this steady rhythm, joints receive ongoing support for lubrication, nourishment, and structural repair. Even subtle changes in breathing patterns can yield measurable benefits. Slower respiratory rates improve heart rate variability, a marker of autonomic balance and resilience. Higher variability correlates with reduced inflammation, improved cardiovascular health, and enhanced immune regulation. Through this lens, breath becomes not merely a mechanical process, but a gateway to systemic harmony. The integration of breath and movement embodies a holistic approach to joint health. Rather than isolating physical exercise from emotional and neurological dimensions, it recognizes the body as an interconnected whole. Each slow inhale and controlled exhale weaves together mechanical, chemical, and neural threads, creating a tapestry of healing that extends beyond joints to the entire organism. As individuals learn to move with breath, they rediscover a natural rhythm that once guided effortless motion in youth. This rhythm restores trust in the body's innate intelligence, encouraging patience and self-compassion. Through this gentle partnership between intention and physiology, inflammation subsides, tissues renew, and movement regains its fluid grace, reflecting the profound capacity of breath and controlled motion to orchestrate healing from within. Consistent low-impact activity rebuilds confidence, mobility, and resilience by gently reintroducing the body to movement in a way that feels safe, sustainable, and deeply restorative. When pain or stiffness has limited motion for months or years, the body and mind gradually adapt to stillness. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, balance declines, and fear of discomfort grows. This quiet retreat from activity slowly reshapes daily life, narrowing physical and emotional horizons. Low-impact movement offers a path back, one careful step at a time, restoring not only physical function but also trust in the body's capacity to heal. Low-impact activities such as walking, gentle cycling, water-based exercise, and controlled mobility routines place minimal stress on joints while encouraging continuous motion. This gentle stimulation preserves cartilage health, maintains joint lubrication, and strengthens supporting muscles without provoking inflammation. Because the intensity remains moderate, tissues have sufficient time to adapt and recover, reducing the risk of injury or flare-ups. Over time, these adaptations accumulate, producing meaningful gains in endurance, flexibility, and stability. The psychological impact of consistent movement is equally profound. Each completed session reinforces a sense of accomplishment, gradually replacing fear with confidence. Individuals begin to associate movement with comfort rather than pain, transforming their relationship with physical activity. This shift encourages greater participation in daily tasks and social engagement, fostering independence and emotional well-being. As confidence grows, movement becomes an expression of vitality rather than a reminder of limitation. Mobility improves through the restoration of natural movement patterns. Gentle repetition retrains muscles and joints to coordinate efficiently, reducing compensatory habits that strain tissues. Walking becomes smoother, posture aligns, and transitions between positions feel less effortful. These improvements extend beyond exercise sessions, influencing everyday activities such as standing from a chair, climbing stairs, or carrying objects. The body relearns how to move economically, conserving energy and minimizing unnecessary stress. Resilience emerges as the body adapts to gradual challenges. Each session introduces a small stimulus that encourages tissues to strengthen and remodel. This process mirrors the principles of progressive adaptation, where incremental stress fosters growth without overwhelming biological systems. As resilience increases, individuals tolerate longer durations of activity, varied terrains, and diverse movements with greater ease. This adaptability protects joints from sudden overload, reducing the likelihood of injury. Low-impact activity also enhances cardiovascular health, supporting efficient oxygen delivery and nutrient transport throughout the body. Improved circulation benefits joint tissues, muscles, and nerves, creating a physiological environment conducive to healing and performance. Enhanced endurance allows individuals to remain active longer, reinforcing the positive cycle of movement and recovery. Balance and coordination receive significant benefits from regular low-impact exercise. As muscles strengthen and sensory feedback improves, postural control sharpens. This heightened stability reduces fall risk and fosters confidence in navigating complex environments. The fear of falling often restricts movement in older adults, leading to further deconditioning. By rebuilding balance through gentle practice, individuals regain autonomy and freedom of movement. Consistency anchors these changes. Sporadic activity yields fleeting benefits, while regular engagement fosters lasting transformation. Daily or near-daily movement sustains joint lubrication, muscular activation, and neural adaptation. This rhythm establishes a supportive structure that integrates movement seamlessly into daily life, making it a natural and anticipated part of routine rather than an occasional obligation. Emotional resilience deepens alongside physical improvements. Movement stimulates the release of endorphins and other neurotransmitters that elevate mood and reduce stress. This biochemical uplift counters the emotional toll of chronic pain and limitation, fostering optimism and motivation. As emotional well-being improves, adherence to activity routines strengthens, reinforcing the cycle of progress. Low-impact exercise also nurtures social connection when practiced in community settings. Shared movement experiences create bonds, reduce isolation, and provide mutual encouragement. These social dimensions contribute to sustained engagement, enhancing both psychological and physical health. In this supportive environment, individuals find inspiration and accountability, enriching their journey toward wellness. Over time, the accumulation of these benefits reshapes self-perception. Individuals no longer define themselves by their limitations but by their capabilities and potential. This shift transforms daily experiences, infusing them with purpose and vitality. Movement becomes a celebration of what the body can still achieve rather than a lament for what has been lost. Through consistent low-impact activity, the aging body demonstrates its remarkable capacity for renewal. Each gentle step, each mindful motion, reinforces resilience at every level, weaving strength, confidence, and mobility into a tapestry of enduring health and quiet empowerment. If you found these insights helpful and want to continue learning practical, science-backed strategies to stay healthy, strong, and vibrant as you age, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends and family who could benefit, and subscribe to our channel for daily senior wellness tips, nutrition guidance, and simple lifestyle hacks designed to enhance longevity and quality of life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video that can help you live healthier, happier, and more empowered every day.